Hello, it's Allison, and today on Thinking Outside the Box, I am going to show you how I created these easy bicone beads. These are treated with Dragonfly Glaze, and as you can see, the beautiful color shifting. These beads are wonderful as focal pieces on a necklace because I'm going to show you, you can make any size you want. You can use them as drops on an earring and even create a bracelet with them. Lots of things you can do with these gorgeous beads. I really love this Dragonfly Glaze, and I'm having so much fun with it. Loving the color shift. All right, so I'm going to gather up the supplies needed so that you can see how I created these, and I will be back. All right, I am back, and these are the supplies that I will be using in today's tutorial. I will have links to everything down in the description below this video. If you're looking on a PC, the description should already be there under the video. If you're looking on your iPad or your iPhone or your phone, you may have to click a little arrow next to the title of this video to bring down that description to make it viewable. All right, so what I used is Primo Sculpey black clay, black polymer clay. You're gonna need some sort of a blade, some graduated cutters. I like to use tiles. You're gonna need a few of these. They're about, let's see, 6 by 6 tiles. And I have 3, and I like to work on them. You're going to need something to put your beads on to put in your oven to bake. And I really love this bead rack by Sculpey. And it comes with your little bead piercers. I'm not even gonna edit that out. We're just gonna leave it. These are awesome, love those. Of course, you're gonna need your Dragonfly Glazes, and you're gonna need a couple or a paintbrush of your choice. And the magical tool to create these is my Lentil bead roller by RJCrafts. Now, I'm not going to be making a lentil bead, and that's what these were specifically created for because it really makes them easy to make. I'm going to be showing you how I make a bicone bead with this roller, and it's just as easy to create. So that is also needed, or anything clear that you can roll your bead out with or shape your bead. Excuse me. But this is my preference. And I believe that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and get some clay rolled out, and I'll be back. The thing that I like most about being able to create my own bicone beads is that I can make them in any size that I want. I can make them large, I can make them small, I can make them medium. I can make them graduated to put onto a necklace. And that's why we need these graduated cutters. Now, there are bead rollers on the market, and don't get me wrong, they're great. There's nothing wrong with them, other than the fact that you're stuck with one size. Now, this particular one will make kind of a tubey-shaped bead, this a round bead, and of course your bicone bead, which is shown here. But the problem with this is you're stuck with just one size. So, and it's small. You know, you can't make graduated sizes. You can't make anything but what they offer. And it's an easy, simple process, but hey, who wants to be stuck with one size bead? I mean, that would be like the end of the world for me if I was stuck with just one size bead. So in this process that I'm going to show you, you can make any size beads that you want. And you can also make them uniform every single time. So what you need to do for this process is you can take any cutters that you want. I just happen to be using these graduated 3D cutters from RJCrafts, which I love. And I'm going to pick out 5 sizes. I'm gonna go from small and keep getting a little bigger. And we'll put these guys over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, I have rolled this out to a number 4 on my pasta machine. And number 1 is the thickest setting. So number 4 is the 4th thickest setting. And I'm just going to take these cutters and go ahead and lay them out on my clay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it one at a time, and that way I won't be wasting any clay. So I'm gonna put these over here and go ahead and cut this one out. And then I just like to turn it and then line up my next one, cut it out. My next one over here. And the next size. And the little one right there. And now I'm gonna pull off the excess clay. Put that off to the side. And I'm gonna take another tile, put it here. And go ahead and pull these off with my blade. Now we're gonna start with the smallest tile, or the smallest shape. So that'll be our smallest bead. I'm gonna go ahead and form this into a ball. First, I like to condition it a little bit more. You want to make sure that your clay is very well conditioned for this project, or any project for that matter, because that helps with the stability of your project. You should always condition your clay. You can never over condition. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to put it in my hand. And I know this might, some people don't like seeing this on camera. I'm only going to do one on camera. I'll do the others off because sometimes this makes people dizzy, and I don't want to get anybody dizzy. So you're just going to roll that into a ball. You want to make sure that it's completely smooth all the way around. You don't want any cracks. And then you're going to go ahead and do that for the rest of them. And I think I'll do these off camera and I'll be back. All right, I have all my clay rolled out into balls, and as you can see, from smallest to largest. So that is how you get your graduated sizes. Now the next step, I'm gonna move these out of the way because I want to zoom in very close so that you can see how I'm doing this next step. I just want to make sure that everything looks good on camera. All right, what you're going to do, and we'll start with the largest, is put your bead in the middle of your tile. Now, with this template, you want to make sure that you can read RJCrafts. It's not backwards, because this template is etched. And you don't want that getting onto your bead. The back side is completely smooth. So what you're gonna do is you're going to, I like to hold the template like this. You're going to just put that down onto your bead and you're just gonna start rolling to make your point. Once you get your point made, then you're just going to take, and if you can see the clay where it's the darkest is where it's touching the template, you're just going to kind of keep molding that bead around. You're applying just slight pressure and just keep looking at where it's actually touching. And as you can see, doing it slowly, a little bit of pressure, and just going around and around until you've made the size or the perfectness of the bicone that you're looking for. And you see it touching the template because it's darker. And you can roll it as much or as little as you want. And that, my friend, is how I create bicone beads. See how perfect that is? It takes a little bit of practice, but once you've done one, you are gonna have no issues at all doing, you know, once you get it down, it's so simple. It takes just a teeny bit of practice. So I'm gonna go through each bead so that you can see me doing it again. Now I just take it and hold it about like that, put it down on my bead, and slight pressure, I'm just rolling a little to kind of make that first point. Then I'm kind of moving the bead at an angle, not the template, just the bead, until I get to the point where I want to stop on the bicone, until it's the exact shape that I'm looking for. And I love this template. It just makes this job so much easier. It's nice and large and just absolutely brilliant. And there, we have another. I'm gonna put that off to the side. We'll go with the next size. Go ahead and place it on my tile. Put my template down, start it a little, so I'm starting the point. And then just manipulating the bead so it kind of goes on its side. And you can see from the dark area where it's touching. It's only touching the template at that point. And then just keep rolling until you get your bead to where you want it. And this is actually very comforting to do. I could sit there and do these all day. We'll go ahead and get the next size. Get it started to a point. And just keep rolling until you get it where you want it. And you know what? Hey, look, I messed up on this one. No big deal. We can do it again. It'll still be the same size circle that you started with. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off my template because it was getting a little cloudy from the polymer clay on it. And we'll try this again. Hold your template right over, start making your point, apply a little bit of pressure, and roll that bead out by angling it on its, not completely on its side, just a little bit. And you can see only a small part is touching the clay as I'm rolling. And that one's more saucer shaped, but it's still a bicone. And now we're gonna do our last one, our little one. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll and then get it on its side. And keep going until we want the size bicone, the look that you're looking for. And tell you what, this little guy's giving me a problem. So, I mean, it was really pretty bead, but we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it one more time. So you can see that I don't get it right every time either. And hey, you know what? No biggie. You just roll it up and start again. And this one really wants to be a vein. I didn't have it a perfect, well, it doesn't even have to be perfect, just round. I started out kind of oblong. So, one more time. We got this. And the key is, if it seems a little too much on one side, you can go back a little like that. You're applying just slight pressure, but making sure that that clay is angled. All right. That one wants to be a little bit saucerish, so we're gonna leave it like that. And that's not quite a lentil. A lentil would be flatter than that. But here we go. Here are our graduated Bicone beads. Really quick, really easy to create. Now, I am going to show you how I pierce a hole in these beads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these, because we manipulated them and worked with them, they're warm. So they're going to be squishy when we go to pierce. We don't want that. We do not want to distort them. So what I do is I put them in my freezer for 10 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the freezer and for 10 minutes and I'll be back. All right, these have been in the freezer for 10 minutes and they are looking good. They are going to be perfect to pierce without destroying them. So now we want to get our little bead pins out, and these are awesome. These you can get some of these if you get this tray from Sculpey. It will come with the bead piercers. There might be another name for them, but I'm not sure. I call them bead piercers. So you want to go ahead and get those out. And we're going to start with the biggest bead. Now what I like to do is find my middle of that point and turn. Make sure it's straight and turn till you get about halfway. You're turning this, not your clay. Then I go ahead and pull it out, flip my bead over, and find middle on that side. Make sure it's straight, and the easiest way to keep this straight is by holding it like this and looking at it. So going straight in, we're gonna go halfway. And as you can see, I am not destroying the bead because it was in the freezer. And it made it to a point where you can work with it pretty heartily without destroying it. Then go back to the other side. You've gone halfway through both sides, and you should be able to go straight through, holding it straight up like this and turning. You should be coming straight out that hole, and it's that simple. You might find a little bit of moisture on your bead, and that's not gonna hurt anything. That's it kind of defrosting. It's not frozen. It's, you know, it's not gonna freeze in 10 minutes. So now you've got it on your bead pin, and you just go ahead and place it in your bead rack. And it's got these little slots where it goes in there perfectly. So we're going to do one more. Find your center, turn, make sure it's straight, turning and pushing slightly, turning and pushing slightly. Then go to the other side, find your center, make sure everything is lined up and straight, turning, pushing slightly till you think you're at about center. Turn it back over, go back through your original hole, hold it up straight and turn. And you will come back through that hole, which actually was not center. If you do that and it's not center, it's no big deal. Find your center, go ahead, make sure everything's straight, and go through. And then when you come back up, you'll be back in that hole. And then you can always go here and just smooth that out with your finger so it never happened. No big thing. And there you go, you've got another. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish, well, you know what, we'll do one more. And you find your center, hold it straight, turn and push. This part is what you're turning, not your bead. Turn and push till you get about halfway, pull it out, turn it over, find center, hold it straight so it's lined up straight with the bead, turn and push. And take it out, go back through your original hole on that end, hold it up straight, turn and push, and you come straight back up through that hole. And it's just that simple. Go ahead and put that on your bead rack. And I'm not gonna do these other two because I've showed you the three. What we're going to do is put these in the oven after you've pierced your other two or however many you've made. Put these in the oven. Because they are primo, I bake them for 1 hour at 275 degrees for 1 hour. So I'm not going to be back because I actually have some beads I prepared for this video, and I have some beads that are out of the oven and completely cooled. And this is how I had them on my rack. They're completely cooled and ready for decorating. So I think with this tutorial, I am going to paint a couple of the beads, and then we're going to call it a day on this one. And let's see, let's use my two favorite of these Dragonfly Glazes. And that would be the teal, and which is this one here, and the blue. Actually, this is the teal. Oh, those are the same. And the blue. So teal and violet blue. Oops, really close there, sorry. So the teal and the violet blue green. And you get your brush of choice. Make sure you have a little water on the side so that you can clean your brush. And I like to also have a paper towel nearby. And let's see, we'll start with the violet, blue, green shift. Shake your paint. You want to shake it up pretty good. Get all those pigments dispersed throughout there. And I work out of the cap, as many of you, as you know. And I paint right on these. I don't even take them off. I leave them right on there, and when I'm done painting them, I put them right back on the rack. So this rack has many purposes. I take a little paint on my brush and just brush it on there. And remember, the darker your surface, the more vibrant your colors. I mean, you can use this glaze on lighter colors, but you are not going to get the vibrancy that you get on a dark surface. And I have found that black is amazing. And if there's a little bit of white on the paint, no big deal. You can also dab it like that if you want to put a little. I have found that with this paint, you can dab. I would not put a bunch on, like totally glob it on, because this paint also, not paint, glaze, also has, because it's got the particles suspended in it, those particles also need to lay flat to give you the best result. So if you glob too much on, your particles are going to be, you know, sideways and you know, flat, and you're not going to get, it's like mica. It's, you know, the mica shift effect. You want your particles to all be laying in one direction to get the best results on this. But, you know, I have found that if you don't want to do, you know, 5 or 6 coats to get it completely that color, that the color of the glaze, the particles in the glaze, then you can dab like that and, you know, be able to do it in about 3 coats as opposed to 5 or 6. So that is the violet, blue, green, which the green on here is more of a turquoisey teal. And that's just 1 coat, so you're not gonna see huge coverage on that like you do on these. These are 5, 6 coats of the glaze. And I'll do 1 more, and that'll be in the red, violet, blue shift. And we'll just do that right on the same one. Not the same bead, but the same pin that the beads are on. And this is similar to that, but this one's more of a blue with a violet shift, and that's more of a teal or a turquoisey blue with a violet shift. So we're not going to sit here and coat this bead 4 or 5 more times because, you know, you guys can do that and you can make them any colors that you like. You can even take an existing bead and add dots to it, or lines or squiggles or whatever you want. So you start with a bead of one color, say this green bead here, And then you can take a paintbrush that is more detailed, like something like this, and dip it in another color, a color different than the green, and dot it, or squiggles, or lines like that with that color. And then you'll have a contrasting color and be painting a design onto your bead. So that's another idea. So that is how I make my bicones, and it's a very simple process. Once you get the hang of rolling the bead out with the bead lentil roller, you are going to be making bunches and bunches of bicone beads. And you, like I said, you can put them on head pins and make dangle earrings, make bracelets, necklaces, beaded curtains. Wouldn't that be cool? I probably have enough of these bicone beads that I could make a beaded curtain for my door. And they're lightweight because it's polymer clay. So I hope that you found this tutorial helpful, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I love bringing free tutorials to you each week. And tomorrow we will be working on this trinket dish that I made and used the Dragonfly Glaze on. And that's where I actually painted this swirl with a paintbrush. And it was that simple. So if you like this video, please like and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. If you tap the bell, you will get notifications when new videos go up. So until tomorrow, thank you for watching, and bye for now.